Good evening. This is the Monday Agenda. The Monday Agenda today speaks about Pakistan, Tanzania, East Africa Cooperation Friendship Day that took place recently. We commemorated this day in the presence of Honorable Mula Mula that was hosted by the Pakistan High Commissioner here in Tanzania. And I'm delighted on the program this evening to talk about this event and a bit of current issues happening here in Tanzania. Your Excellency, very welcome to the program.
Thank you very much, Mr. Makani. This is my fourth interview with you on the Monday agenda in the last 18 months. And I'm really grateful that you gave me one more opportunity to highlight what we organized on 25th of June at a local hotel in Dar es Salaam. And the event was Pakistan, Tanzania, and EAC Friendship Day celebrations. So the purpose of the event was to strengthen the strong bonds of relationship, friendship, brotherhood that we enjoy with Tanzania and with other EAC partner states for the last almost 6 decades now. So it was in a continuation of the series of initiatives taken by the government of Pakistan since the launching of the Engage Africa policy in November 2019. And following that, we had had one business conference for the entire continent in Nairobi in January 2020. In the first half of 2020, most of the world was grappling with the new pandemic. So by September, we organized a big business conference in Dar es Salaam. Around 230 business people from the country were invited. We organized one more business conference in December 2020, again in Dar es Salaam. It was for a select group of 100 business community. Following that, I went and presented my credentials also to the EAC Secretary General in Arusha. That was in February 21, a few months back. And it is a series of those successive events and initiatives being taken to generate greater information sharing, generate greater awareness and interest, and to continue with the engagement, because when we say engage Africa policy, so engagement means more intense interaction at political level, at business community level, at people-to-people level. And media is, I think, the best tool to spread out the message. And I'm grateful that you gave me the opportunity to have a recap of what we did last week.
Thank you, Your Excellency. This Engage Africa policy that was launched, as you rightly said, in the year 2019, does it have a time frame? Does it sort of like have milestones that you also want to see in a couple, let's say, 4, 5, 10 years, 15 years, whereby you want to engage different African nationals with Pakistan?
It's not it does not have a timeline, but
Okay.
it is, I would say, open-ended, and it has a great roadmap ahead. Like we decided to increase the number of embassies from 15 to 20, and those will keep on increasing.
Okay.
We have sent in our High Commissioner in Rwanda, who presented his credentials just last week, earlier this week, I think, in Rwanda. Similarly, we have opened 6 more commercial sections in our embassies, which are already operating in various parts of Africa. Similarly, my own High Commission, we elevated it to the High Commissioner level, and we are augmenting it with additional manpower, both local and from Pakistan. And that entails further interaction and deepening of exchanges at the political level, at cabinet ministerial delegations, exchange of business delegations, and trade and investment, so that the Pakistan's products, Pakistan's potential, Pakistan's trade and investment potential is known to the countries, the people, the governments here in Africa. Similarly, African potential in socio-economic development, in infrastructure development, in agriculture development, in industrial revolution, human resource capacity building, that is known in Pakistan, and Pakistanis can come and contribute to capacity building and socio-economic development of the continent.
You did explain on your speech on the Pakistan-Tanzania East Africa Friendship Day that there are a lot of opportunities between Tanzania and Pakistan and the East African community that we need to further leverage on so that we can have mutual growth both our countries. Would you wish to use this opportunity, Your Excellency, to probably mention a few? I know there are very many, but just a few so that our viewers as well could tap into such rich presentation that you said, and probably if you may bring to light some of the response that Honorable Mula Mula also spoke about during the event.
Thank you very much. It is an important question. The first opportunity, when you talk of interacting with another country, you first one visualizes where is the country located, how far away is this. So, for Pakistan, East Africa is the gateway, the entry point to the whole continent of 54 countries. And if you want to talk of trade in goods, along the Indian Ocean coast, Karachi and Gwadar port are 2,900 nautical miles from Mombasa, from Tanga, and from Dar es Salaam or Zanzibar ports. So, we are just your extended neighbor, and I have been saying it before also, if we start direct shipping, it will only take 12 days for direct merchant shipping from Karachi port to Dar es Salaam or Zanzibar or Mombasa for that matter. Similarly, you are a big market of 6-7 countries, and I know that the EAC partner states, the membership is gradually going to increase. Currently, we have 6 former states. It is going to be 8 to 10 in the coming years, because there are a number of other countries in the region which want to join the EAC. Similarly, Tanzania is a very active member of SADC. So, if Pakistan and EAC have more intense economic engagement, it is going to benefit not only Pakistan and EAC, but also Pakistan's relations with the whole continent, because starting from Djibouti and Kenya, Tanzania in the north to northeast and southeast, your gateway right up to along the mainland, you can go to Central African Republic, you can go to Sudan, to Zimbabwe, to rest of the countries across the continent. So, for us it is very important, and as the Honorable Foreign Minister, Ambassador Mula Mula, she was very receptive, she was very keen to share the similar views that Tanzania has a lot of potential to exploit the economic diplomacy opportunities available between Pakistan and Tanzania, and also Pakistan and EAC. You heard her speech. She was very much optimistic about the future. I was very glad to have participation in the event, not only from the central government in Dodoma, but also number of ministers, including the Chief Secretary herself from the revolutionary government of Zanzibar. We were fortunate to have representation from the EAC Parliament. One lady, Honorable MP, was there. We were fortunate to have the EAC Deputy Secretary General himself. And as you saw in the hall, most of the people were representing media and Tanzanian major business houses.
Correct.
So, it was a very targeted audience, and we wanted to share the information that we distributed to the participants, that what all are the opportunities. Coming to your question, what are the opportunities? EAC is mostly agriculture based region, And Pakistan is not only rich in agriculture by itself, but is also rich in producing and providing application of modern science, technology, and farming and agricultural machinery and tools into the agriculture sector, so that you increase productivity, your labor cost will go down,
Of course.
and you can diversify the agricultural products. So that's one area where Pakistan can contribute to capacity building of agriculture sector in Tanzania and EAC.
Okay.
Secondly, you import number of consumer goods in Tanzania and also in wider EAC region. And Pakistan is again a major supplier of many of those consumer goods which are imported in this region at competitive quality and price.
Okay.
So the business community, inviting the business community over and inviting a large representation from the media, it was primarily designed to share the information so that it goes out across the region and across the country.
Okay. And Your Excellency, thank you for that very wonderful elaboration. Specifically, let's look onto the East Africa community now. What's your mission? How are you approaching the EAC, Your Excellency?
We are doing it with a two-pronged strategy. One is we have our own embassies and high commissions in 4 out of the 6 EAC members.
Okay.
Similarly, I am doing it with EAC Secretariat based in Arusha. I have so far held 4 formal meetings there in Arusha, although it is logistically Arusha is at a distance from Dar es Salaam, so you have to really manage to go there and have meetings. We have the EAC Parliament there, you have the EAC Court, you have the EAC Secretariat. So it is a big organization. I am also now, thanks to the online Zoom meetings or other online tools, we are attending their events while sitting in Dar es Salaam. So intensifying engagement with the EAC Secretariat. Then the bigger organization is EAC Business Council. So the Dr. Peter Mathuki, the Honorable Secretary General of the EAC, has placed to me that they are organizing a EAC business delegation, and we are working on the dates for the visit to Pakistan. So similarly, then I will invite a business delegation from Pakistan. They will come to Dar es Salaam, they will come to Dodoma, they will go to Zanzibar, they will go to Arusha, and they will meet the EAC Business Council counterparts. They will go to the EAC Secretariat. So that's how I hope that with the business to business direct linkages. Similarly, you have Sabah here.
Yes.
And I will be going tomorrow and a day after as well. It is a 2 weeks event. Because of the flights and other difficulties because of this new Delta variant of the COVID-19, the travel has become a challenge. So we have to go there. We will get whatever information we need, share it with business community in Pakistan. And we hope that next time Sabah there will be physical participation with bigger companies from Pakistan. As of now, some Pakistanis who are already doing business here in Tanzania, in Dar es Salaam, in Zanzibar, they are there at the Sabah exhibition. But we need to have more of such events and bigger participation from both sides in such trade and export, import related exhibitions, trade fairs and delegations.
Excellent. Your Excellency, as you may be aware, the 6th regime under Her Excellency the President of the United Republic of Tanzania, Samia Suluhu Hassan, has just clocked 100 days, and we celebrated in our own ways how she's actually been able to do some transformation from the time she got into the State House. What is your perspective on her first 100 days in power as the head of state?
This is a very important question. Look, first of all, Her Excellency President Madam Samia Suluhu Hassan was already functioning as the Vice President of United Republic of Tanzania for the last 6 years.
That's correct.
So she has this great institutional memory as her sport, that what was happening during the fifth phase government, she was the Vice President of the country. So although we feel sorry for the sudden death of President Magufuli, may his soul rest in peace. But Tanzania was lucky to have the continuity as per constitutional provisions. So the good thing that as foreign embassies here was that I could see Tanzania is always peaceful, strong, stable, and there was political predictability. There was not even an iota of any instability. So that is my congratulations, felicitations to the country, to the government, to the state machinery, to the people, to the political parties, to the media, that while we all were here in a state of mourning for 3 weeks following the death of former President Dr. Magufuli on 17th of March. But if you follow the media till 7th of April, things just moved the way they were moving, and there was not even an iota of any disturbance in any corner of the country. Everybody was in a mourning and state of shock. But the state functioned as a very stable, strong, and predictable system. And that is I got special messages from my government, from my president, to the President of United Republic of Tanzania, both the condolence messages and also the felicitation message for President Samia Suluhu Hassan. So I would say that in the last 100 days that she has been in power, she has done wonderfully well in ensuring that all the strategic infrastructure projects which were started in the fifth phase government are going on uninterrupted. No interruption in their financing or any other design. That's great. Similarly, opening up some of the problems being faced by the private sector and giving the private sector the challenge from the government that, look, we will facilitate you and you have to work as a disciplined business entity. That is a great transformation, and the business sector in Tanzania is very much upbeat, and the government has done what one could have expected of a government, that they have to facilitate the private sector. Now it is for the private sector in Tanzania to come up to the expectations of the citizens, of the government, and follow the laws and do business ethically. So I am all praises for the government. The 100 days of her regime in the sixth phase government, and the private sector is upbeat. So it means when the private sector, the Tanzanian private sector is very much confident that we can do much better than before. So it is I think you have only a upward trajectory to conceive and to follow and to dream of.
You are watching the Monday Agenda, and with me is Ambassador Salim, who is the ambassador at the High Commission of Pakistan here in Tanzania, and we are looking on to the Pakistan, Tanzania and EAC friendship that he initiated, and really it was a great event that took place last week here in Dar es Salaam, and it brought a lot of high-level dignitaries from the government, from the EAC, but also from the revolutionary government of Zanzibar. And we're looking on to what transpired during that event, but also, a series of opportunities between Pakistan, Tanzania, and the overall East Africa community. Your Excellency, just again to go back slightly to the event, looking onto the opportunities that the Pakistani and Tanzania and of the overall East Africa community have. I'm looking in terms of the economic growth, which again the sixth regime under Excellency Samia Suluhu Hassan is trying to spearhead, looking onto the issues of markets for our products, looking onto the issues of promotion of tourism, looking onto the issues of increasing foreign direct investments. And I'm looking on to Pakistan, and I'm seeing a lot of gray areas. What do you have to say about this, Your Excellency?
The major products from Tanzania and the EAC region, which can be exported from Pakistan, from here to Pakistan.
Yes.
This region is mostly agriculture-based economies. So the most popular products in East Africa, including Tanzania, are like tea, cashew nuts, coffee, sisal, oil seeds, tanzanite stone. Similarly, you have some very rich gold mines, precious metals. We can do a lot on the blue economy. You have number of ports, and all your ports are currently under expansion. Matwara Port, Dar es Salaam Port, Tanga Port, Zanzibar Port, Pemba Port, your ports along the Victoria Lake in the northwest, along Mwanza to Uganda and Rwanda. Your infrastructure is just on the expansion, ongoing expansion work. Similarly, we in Pakistan, we do not only produce similar agricultural products, but we also produce the whole machinery and industrial plants. You need fertilizer plants here, and we produce the whole fertilizer industrial unit. We produce sugar plants, we produce textile plants, we produce cement plants, which you can get at, again, I would say, competitive quality and competing price. Same is the case with pharmaceuticals, with surgical goods, with PPE equipment in the wake of a pandemic like COVID-19. Similarly, shipbreaking, shipbuilding, and then deep sea fishing, and seafood, not only getting the fish from the sea or water, but also processing, seafood processing, conservation, and export. Similarly, you have some very traditional spices which are being exported to Pakistan as well, but we need to expand that, because we also offer transit trade to 6 landlocked neighbors. We call them the Central Asian republics: Kazakhstan, Tajikistan, Uzbekistan, Turkmenistan, and we hope that the situation in Afghanistan will be stable, as there is a peace deal between the government of Afghanistan, the USA, and the Taliban, and we have started our operationalizing our western port, Gwadar port, offering direct transit trade to Central Asian republics. So Tanzania and EAC can have a market base and their warehouses in Karachi, in Gwadar, and start exporting these products to Central Asia, not only for internal consumption in Pakistan. So you have 6 landlocked neighbors, we also have 6 landlocked neighbors. So there is so much to do together, from Mombasa, Tanga, Zanzibar, Dar es Salaam, and Matwara.
Yes.
To Gwadar, to Port Qasim, to Karachi port in Pakistan.
Your Excellency, you have coordinated and organized trade missions between business community in Tanzania. There was the one that took place in Nairobi, but there was another visit and see in Pakistan. It's been a couple of months since they both took place. Probably it's too premature to say if we are seeing already impact from those missions, but you probably want to say if there's any progress reached so far between the Pakistani business community and the Tanzania business community, and a little bit of what transpired in Kenya, if there are any strides from that meeting.
These visits of the business delegations, one business delegation from Tanzania was led by the president of Tanzania Chamber of Commerce and Industry to Pakistan. It was in November 2020. So the impact is there. The impact is there in the sense that before the exchange of visits, there was trade, there was import and export from both sides. Most of it was from in the EAC region, from Kenya in Mombasa. But with these visits, now the volume is gradually, we have to factor in one thing, the challenges posed by COVID-19 for the last 15 months.
Okay.
Air travel has been disrupted, even shipping has been disrupted. Local markets, local businesses, travel and tourism, even within each country, here also in Pakistan, have been partially affected. So while you factor in that, the volume of trade has remained consistent, and there is no greater awareness that once this corona thing is over and more people are vaccinated and more people travel abroad and normalcy returns to business travel, the volumes will go up, because after the last event, last Friday, that was on 25th, in this current week, I have received 3 participants each every day who came to that event, and on next Monday they were here in my office for more detailed interaction.
Okay.
On Tuesday I had 3 more, and Wednesday again 3 more. So people now realize that, look, we can make more business and do more and make more money, and both sides will benefit.
You literally very well explained that, both our economies, agricultural economies, and I'm looking on to the value addition. I'm looking on to the aspects of, transporting finished or semi-finished products. That means we need to focus more onto what the fifth regime and the sixth regime are promoting, industrialization in Tanzania, that has transited Tanzania from the low income to middle low income economy. How do we then leverage, as we celebrate our friendship, Your Excellency, before my next question, which is 60 years almost of independence in Tanzania, December this year, but how do we leverage in terms of, tapping onto the technology, tapping onto the industry and, that knowledge into Tanzania, so that we may actually be able to produce, but not only to produce, as you rightly said earlier, increase productivity and value adding to the product that we produce in Tanzania through the relationship between Pakistan, Tanzania, and the East Africa, in terms of importing technology, in terms of importing technical know-how, so that we may, sort of like have a mutual economic growth between Pakistan, Tanzania, and the EAC.
So your question is important in the sense that the how part has to be addressed.
Yes.
So there are 2 aspects to it. One is that Pakistani human resource can come and educate and do what we call capacity building in the technical language, capacity building of the relevant subsectors, whether it is textile, it is wheat, sugarcane, sunflower oil, or soya bean, or mango processing, orange fruit. So number of these products are common in both countries.
Okay.
Similarly, you can get the industrial units over, you can get the tractors, machinery, and farming equipment over. We have a region called Potohar Belt, which is arid agriculture.
Okay.
And we have a university in Rawalpindi city close to Islamabad, which is addressing the needs for arid agriculture.
Okay.
And if you go to central parts of Tanzania, this is all arid agriculture again.
Correct. Yes.
So there, I have written to the university in Rawalpindi, and I have met the vice chancellor of Dodoma University, and I have shared the proposals made by the Arid Agriculture University Rawalpindi, how they can contribute for capacity building. I held a meeting with the Tanzania Agriculture Research Council. I visited Tanzania Agriculture Research Institute here, which is in my neighborhood.
Okay.
I went to the Science and Technology Commission of Tanzania. I also held a meeting with the Information and Communication Technology Commission of Tanzania office bearers. And I have shared with them how Pakistan can contribute to capacity building of the human resource in all these sectors, whether it is health, education, agriculture, industry, or science and technology. Similarly, the second part is we have to ensure that the business to business linkages are strengthened.
Correct.
And for that, I have worked with the Pakistani and Tanzanian business community, and we are launching a Tanzania Pakistan Business Council in Dar es Salaam next week.
Okay.
There will be around 10, 12 Tanzanians
Okay.
and some Pakistani origin Tanzanian business people,
Okay.
and some purely, Pakistani passport holders.
Okay.
So all three will be in one council. Job of TAN Trade here, job of Tanzania Investment Center here, and job of Pakistan High Commission would be to provide these official figures, information, what do we have, where can we contribute, what are our major exports, what are our major imports, who is exporting, who is importing, the list of traders, importers, exporters, and people engaged in services sector. So then these Tanzania Pakistan Business Council, they will organize one delegation visit from Tanzania to Pakistan every quarter or every 6 months. Similarly, they will host one Pakistani business delegation to Tanzania and EAC every quarter, every month, maybe 6 months. So the business is ultimately to be done by the private sector in both countries and in EAC region. Governments and embassies, we can facilitate sharing of information, giving them the information about what are our major imports, major exports, from where are we importing, what are our quality and phytosanitary and other requirements, and what are the requirements here, and share the same information with people in Pakistan. So I am on a regular, with this technology development, WhatsApp and online, you have the people on your WhatsApp and you share the same information with people in Pakistan.
Yes.
The press release, the videos, the Facebook coverage of what is happening, what the Honorable Foreign Minister herself said, is a big source of hope, strength, and confidence for me that we can do a lot more.
Okay. Your Excellency, I'm going almost towards the end of the program, and I still feel like there's a lot, because every time, that's why I think I probably have had more engagements with you, because every time I spend the Monday agenda with you, it's rich in terms of content, it's very informative. But Tanzania will be celebrating 60 years of independence this December 9th, and we've had a long history of relationship between Pakistan and Tanzania from as early as 1967. I understand that's when the High Commission was established here in Tanzania.
Yeah.
How would you sort of like say the relationship bilateral between Tanzania and Pakistan, from looking back a little bit in history, where we are at the moment with all these efforts in place, and both by your government, the Africa Initiative, the sixth regime, and probably Where do you envisage us going in terms of, this relationship, especially when we look onto the aspects of economic diplomacy, cultural, political, etc., Your Excellency?
Great, a very important question. In 2021, by December, Tanzania will be 60 years following the independence of Tanganyika, the mainland. Then in 63, the revolutionary government in Zanzibar was established. By 64, we saw the United Republic of Tanzania coming up. So we are very much happy that the country since 1961 and then 63 and 64 onwards has only seen a historical evolution of peace, security, predictability and harmony in the country. It is a multi-ethnic society, and you see across around the world even, and Tanzania is an ideal example of ethnic, religious, political stability and harmony and unity. So that is a big lesson for the rest of the world, that the way Tanzania has evolved as a young country, which is now after independence only around 6 decades. Similarly, Pakistan is just maybe a decade plus older. We will be 74 years on 14th of August, so a month from now. And we have seen ups and downs in our evolution since independence in 1947. But today, similarly, Pakistan is a example in South Asia. You can read and follow the media in South Asia. And we want similar peace, security and stability in our region. And looking at wider EAC region also, most of the EAC region has largely been peaceful for the last 5 decades since independence of this region.
Yes.
So what Pakistan has historically done, as you asked, we have been contributing and supporting the decolonization and freedom struggle of all countries in Africa right since 1947, when we were sovereign ourselves.
Okay.
We have been participating in all the United Nations mandated peacekeeping missions across the continent. We have been supporting the South-South cooperation. As a result, we have the South-South Cooperation Secretariat. It's called COMSATS, Commission for Science and Technology in the South. And that secretariat is based in Islamabad. We have a university, and may I also inform that with the High Commission's establishing the linkage here, the COMSATS University offered 3 fully funded scholarships to 3 Tanzanian students.
Okay.
Because of COVID, they are doing online. There is a great, similarly, the Aga Khan Development Network, which is its mother institution based in Karachi, and Aga Khan Medical College, University, and the hospital.
Yes.
And they not only produce doctors, they have paramedics, they have nursing staff, and they have contributed a lot in Tanzania and also in other EAC member countries. So we have been contributing to the socio-economic development of East African countries. We have been offering military training to armed forces of all countries here in this part, including Tanzania, to your diplomats, to the railway, postal service, banking sector officers, that we call Pakistan's Technical Assistance Program for countries in Africa. And in addition to that, capacity building and friendly relations and having embassies in most countries in East Africa, we also have a lot of goodwill, historical connections.
Yes.
Since the colonial times. We have Pakistani origin Tanzanians who are now 4th, 5th generation Tanzanians here. And along our coastal belt and in our Sindh province in south and in Balochistan, along the Indian Ocean and Arabian Sea. We have people from East African origin. As we had discussed last in the September business conference, we have a lady member of Sindh Parliament,
Yes.
Madam Kambarani.
Yes.
She
I,
is
I, I I remember. I think I've connected with her somehow.
she is a master's in ICT. She has a master's degree in information technology, and she is member of Sindh Provincial Assembly. So the connections are there. I have people here who are engaged in politics, in business, in government sector, in media, civil society, in medical and education fields. So the bonds are there. We only have to expand the relationship to diverse fields of political, economic, security, cultural, people to people, all spheres of human interaction.
Your Excellency, we've come to the end finally of the Monday agenda. But before we close, Your Excellency, probably you want to say one or two words briefly in about a minute or half a minute to our viewers, to Tanzania through Capital TV, so that, you know, we can pick that message maybe to congratulate the President on achievements to date, maybe to wish Tanzania well as we celebrate the 60 years of independence. Maybe, I mean, it's your floor, Your Excellency. Please.
Thank you very much. I'm really very much happy to be in Tanzania for the last 18 months, and I have interacted with all important echelons of the society and the government of United Republic of Tanzania, including the revolutionary government of Zanzibar. And I was really impressed during last year's October national elections here, and following that, the stability I saw, the continuity I saw, and even further when we were facing the tragedy of the sudden death of Dr. Joseph Pombe Magufuli. Unfortunate, may his soul rest in peace. That was a big shock for the country, for the people, and for friends abroad, including Pakistan. But since life has to go on, so I was again very much impressed the way the society, the country, the state machinery, it was able to handle and face the tragedy with resilience, with patience, with perseverance, with fortitude, courage, unity, peace, and harmony. Congratulations to the Tanzanian society, to the people of Tanzania, to the whole region which came together. I was there at the state funeral in Dodoma on that was 22nd of March, I think. And all regional leaders from across the continent were there, and similarly on the oath taking of President Madam Her Excellency Samia Suluhu Hassan, I was there. So congratulations for the country and the people, the way they faced the tragedy with perseverance and fortitude, and they decided to keep the country's path for going up only. And my special congratulations to Her Excellency the President of United Republic of Tanzania for having achieved some major milestones in giving a morale booster to the people of the country despite the tragedy they had, and to give so much confidence to the private sector, including foreign investors, foreign traders, to come to Tanzania, to do business with Tanzania, and to promote Tanzania's economic diplomacy relations with other countries. And Pakistan, being a historically friend and brother of Tanzania, we were there whenever in the sectors you required, like in armed forces and diplomatic services for the training of young diplomats of Tanzania. We are always there, and we are for even economic cooperation, we are there. And I have very long list of agenda given by my government to intensify trade and economic linkages with the government of Tanzania, with the people of Tanzania here, and also with the EAC member countries. So I look forward to a very busy interaction with the government senior dignitaries and also with the private sector here. And I'm really, I look forward to a very busy schedule of the remaining part of my tenure.
And with that, my dear viewers, marks the end of the Monday agenda. I'm highly delighted and honored once again, Your Excellency, for hosting the Monday agenda here at the High Commission. And we look forward, really, as you've rightly said, very busy schedules, very, transforming now these meetings, these missions into things tangible that we may one day look back and say, we are celebrating this Pakistan, Tanzania, and East Africa friendship, and this has been able to, bring forth certain changes that we'll see and we envisage seeing in the society very soon. Thank you for watching. I'm your host, Austin Makani. Your Excellency, thank you so much for coming into the program. Until next time, stay tuned to the Capital TV. Until next time, goodbye.